And while I am not a stock analyst by any means, and you should definitely not take my advice on stock stuff because I'm not very good at investing. Anyway.
So that was one of the Tesla bulls telling you he's not good at this stuff, and yet people still watch. As crazy as that sounds. But this is a cult. I gotta remind you, this is a cult. It's like a religion, and people just want to feel good and listen to their favorite pastor or preacher preach the good word of Elon Musk. Tesla earnings are coming out tomorrow, and I know that whatever happens, the bulls will say it's good news, but I want to try to tell you the truth on all this kind of stuff and give you some realistic expectations. However, first, you have to understand the context of the world that we're in and check out what the people are saying over at Tesla Pumper TV.
Let's just see the piss on your leg part. Watch. They cut the price target on Tesla by 35. You're thinking, man, they cut it by 35? That's crazy. But wait. They cut it by $35 to 300 and what? Family, you don't find that suspicious that the news is saying that they cutting Tesla price target, but the price target is still in the $345 range? What? What price is Tesla? Tesla is 208, but you cut the price target down to 345, so you still think it's gonna go up? But I'm getting news that you cutting the price target, but the price target is way higher than the current stock price. But again, people don't read. People never go and read.
And while I am not a stock analyst by any means, and you should definitely not take my advice on stock stuff because I'm not very good at investing. Anyway.
As a direct, kind of result of him not being focused on Tesla, you just don't understand how Wall Street works. Now, don't yell at me. I think it's complete garbage and stupid, but that's not going to stop others from doing it. I know, I agree with you guys. I'm not saying it's fair. I'm not saying anything else like that. I understand he can handle more than any other human being can. I don't know how he runs all his companies at the same exact time and run them all so well. Agree with it completely. But we're dealing with Wall Street here, and we can say it's fair, say it's all not fair, whatever the case is, but it's going to have bearing on Tesla stocks.
And while I am not a stock analyst by any means, and you should definitely not take my advice on stock stuff because I'm not very good at investing. Anyway.
Highest price target on Tesla stock before today cut his price target to $345 from $380 per share. Wall Street is something else, okay? Let's be honest. $340 per share. Most of you guys would be happy with that in the next 12 months. I personally think Tesla stock can go higher than that. It really depends on earnings, what is announced, and how earnings ultimately come out, what the demand picture looks like in 2024.
There are a number of stock analysts and people in the general public that think that Tesla is wildly overvalued. But if you pay attention to what Elon Musk has been saying and what Tesla is doing, you can see that they're actually wildly undervalued instead, and actually they might be leading the way to AGI. Let's take a look. And while I am not a stock analyst by any means, and you should definitely not take my advice on stock stuff because I'm not very good at investing. Anyway, I do want to bring this up because I think this is important. Hallmark's catalog says, and it's still massively undervalued to Tesla being up 129.86% in the year of 2023. Elon says, I stand by my prediction that if Tesla executes extremely well over the next 5 years, that the long-term value could exceed Apple and Aramco combined.
Got it. That's you nailed it. Like that complexity of the real world. So Hans has coined this term of meat space GPT. And so ChatGPT kind of is like a thing that can sort of alter the digital world to give you an answer, and it can like sort of mold, it can adapt to the digital world. This technology, think of it as like a GPT, but for the meat space, like reality. And that AI
is a 4-dimensional GPT kind of thing.
Literally, exactly.
Yes. So believe it or not, people actually watch this stuff and is the most popular on YouTube. That is YouTube, that's social media, that's your general audience. They're watching Tesla Pumper TV. There's a couple themes though that I noticed from it. One is tell people that everything's a conspiracy and you'll be popular. Tell people that the government is out to get you, Wall Street's out to get you, right? The mainstream media is out to get you. Everything's out to get you, and you will be popular by telling people that everyone is holding you down. And moreover, they'll tell you, buy my scammy class, and you will be rich. That's what this whole thing is all about. It's so crazy. Moreover, people even say, hey, Tesla's undervalued. You got to keep buying. Wall Street's lying to you, all these kind of things. They never really show you any real numbers. They just talk about stock price. And this is also the reality of YouTube and social media. For the average person, that's all they care about is just tell me the price of the stock. Is it going to go up or down? And that's it. This is how you get burned, though. And this is how you lose your money from watching Tesla Pumper TV because they're not being honest with you. Or they don't even know what the real stuff is because they don't care. They'll just say, hey, go up, go up, go up, buy, 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 and that's it. But I want to show you guys what I look at. So this is some software that I use to get a quick valuation on a company. It makes it really, really fast. You can see very quickly that Tesla is grade F. It's very obvious. It's right there. So it's not just, my personal opinion. It's just software, right? It's just numbers, guys. And the basic gist of it is, they all tell you that it's undervalued, but they'll just say it's undervalued because Tesla's more than a car company. Elon Musk is awesome, and it's a big cult, and everyone loves it. And so don't listen to Wall Street. Don't listen to numbers. Just trust me, bro. I don't really go on that. I prefer just to actually look at stuff. So if you want to look at, say, hey, what's the valuation, meaning how do you value Tesla? If you look at earnings, if you look at sales, you look at price to book, cash flow, whatever, it all comes out of F, meaning that the thing is overvalued. If it just a very basic metric, the PE, the price of the stock compared to how much the company earns, it's overvalued. It's so easy to see, but it is what it is. I'm just showing you guys it's not my opinion. It's just numbers. Moreover, if you do want to get a people's opinion, you can check over at Wall Street. Now, on all of the channels, they were only focusing on Morgan Stanley and Adam Jonas, and he was saying cut it from 380 to 345 because he had the highest price target. And sometimes you do that just to get attention. It's all about marketing. I will agree with the pumpers on one thing is that Wall Street's not necessarily always forthcoming or honest with you. I'll agree with that. But I will also say, hey, I'll give you all the numbers and you can decide for yourself. The pumpers only focus on the really, really big numbers, but I'll show you all of them. So according to Wall Street, at least, the lowest one is JP Morgan saying sell at 135 is the price target. And then the highest one is actually Daniel Ives. He's the pumper all the time. He just pumps up all of the tech stocks. He's saying 350. If you want to look at sort of the average rating, looks like you guys can see what I see. Wall Street is saying a hold, some are saying buy, and a few are saying sells. I'll make this really clear. It's not like Tesla is going to go to bankrupt and not going to go to zero. People do buy their cars. They are profitable, but just overvalued, meaning that for how much money that they make, you're paying a little bit much for the stock. We're going to take a look at the last earnings report before the new one comes in. And honestly, guys, this is what happens all the time when the Tesla pumpers show you earnings. They only focus on one or two numbers that aren't actually the most important, because the funny thing about this is in a earnings report, this is not a trick question, trust me, it's simple. In an earnings report, what's the most important number? The earnings in a earnings report. So if the pumpers don't talk about earnings, they're just basically lying to you by omission. So what they're probably going to talk about is revenue, right? So revenue last time increased 9%, right? So, but it's not the same as earnings, because like revenue is the money coming in, but you have a lot of expenses and things like that. You got to pay people, you got to build the cars, you got materials, all that stuff, and that costs money. And what's going to be happening, and what's the concern for Tesla going forward, is actually the margins. Are the margins decreasing? Last time we checked on this stuff, where is it? Operating margin went down, was about 9.5%. That's actually quite a lot. The other thing too is the profits or the earnings. There's two ways you can look at it. So one is net income attributable to common stockholders. That's down 44%. Your net income down 44%, and your EPS then also down 44%. There's something that really stands out though when you look at either income or earnings or EPS, whatever you want to say, and it's really obvious to see. You can see it right here. So quarter four here, 2022, it appears that was the peak earnings of Tesla. I can see right here, at least in the recent quarters. It was $1.19 per share. In quarter three, it came in at 66 cents. Okay. The problem is that if they had $1.19 before per share in earnings, and let's say Tesla comes in and reports the same as last quarter, around 66 cents or whatever, it's going to be a negative 50% decline. I said negative decline, but it went down. It went down 50%. It's the easy way to say it. You can see it right here. It's really clear to see, because remember, you're comparing to last year. And I think we're going to get a big decline compared to last year. You also see it in their EBITDA, right? Peaked there. I think that's going to be like a 5 billion thing. And then you may be getting an EBITDA, I don't know, 3.5 billion, or who knows what it's going to come at. If it came in the same as last quarter, it's still going to be big declines from last year. The big issue is that they're cutting prices. They have more competition. You have a slowing economy. It's just like I just don't see where it could be positive in terms of earnings. It might be better than last quarter, but compared to last year, you're all in decline, and it may be as much as half from last year. So who knows exactly? I mean, because I can't predict that. There's no way to know until they tell you the numbers. But you kind of tell where the direction is going to go. The other concern you got to be having is like what's going on with your free cash flow. It was down 74% compared to last year, and if you look at quarter 4 2022, it really spiked there, and it's probably going to decline from last year. So the question is going to be, did they improve from last quarter? Maybe not. We don't know. I would guess that probably going to decline from last quarter, but they could improve from last quarter, but still will be down from last year. And that's sort of the thing I want to really emphasize. It looks like, according to these numbers, the recent numbers, Tesla peaked last year, and comparing it to last year, it's going to be tough. The way that you make money in this game in terms of a company is you make things for really cheap, which Tesla's good at making things for cheap, and then you sell it to people at a really, really high price. But they're having a hard time doing that these days because there's competition, right? If the other car companies are making a comparable, a product, and they can charge a lower price, and are able to push that out the door, and Tesla's got like a higher price as a consumer, you're going to take the lower price one, assuming all things are equal. Now Tesla will try to always say that we're a premium brand, et cetera, and try to charge more, but evidently that's not working that well because they are cutting their prices. Moreover, they're going to be losing their EV tax credit, will also hurt sales as well. And Elon Musk is also doing crazy stuff and may or may not leave Tesla. So who knows with that. So just wanted to point this stuff out to you. And again, focus on earnings in the earnings report that comes out. And if they don't talk about earnings on the other channels, they're lying to you. They're only talking about deliveries and revenue, which is not the same thing. You got to look at the bottom line. If you want to take a look at what the other software that I have uses, it says a fair value price of Tesla is a 181. So that would suggest an overvalued of 15%. This is not taking into account the news of Tesla, where it's going, what they forecast, or what the earnings report is tomorrow, but we'll see. The point is that when I do this stuff, when I tell you guys these things every day that it looks to be expensive, it's not that I hate Elon. It's not that I hate driving a Tesla. It's nothing to do with that. It's just about numbers. And if these, kind of metrics all said, hey, valuation grade of A, and I would say, hey, it looks like it might be undervalued, but it's obvious to me, like, because I can read that everything is overvalued. So you can take that however you want. So anyway, just wanted to share this stuff with you, and look out below tomorrow. I think it could get really ugly, but you never know. That's why they do earnings reports, and that's why these are publicly traded companies. So thanks again for your time, and I'll catch you in the next video.